Shadowgate no doubt left a huge impact on me. It was really, for me, one of the scariest games I'd ever played in my early days of being a gamer. There was something about the game, it was just creepy as you're exploring this castle, trying your best to make the right decisions that aren't going to get you killed. The eerie music, foreboding graphics, and a rogues gallery of just the creepiest, most ghoulish monsters that you've ever had in your nightmares. Well, cousin Manny and I actually got together recently to watch a playthrough that Manny recorded on tape back in 1990 of Shadowgate. This is an entire playthrough of Manny beating Shadowgate from beginning to end. You're gonna see all of the tricks and all of the different strategies that 9-year-old Manny actually used to implement every time he played this game. You're gonna see it unfold right before your very eyes, along with Manny and I. Hey, I can go on and on about this game, but I'd rather us get right to it. Let's go. We're watching a old video here. Manny recorded, his 10-year-old self recorded for me. Came on the same tape as a couple of other games, DuckTales and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which we've covered before. We actually watched through that whole playthrough last time. But now we're looking at Shadowgate. Manny, what can you tell me about Shadowgate? I don't even think I've ever asked you, like, when did you get the game and why? Like, how did you find out about it?
Well, not quite sure how we found out about it, but we used to very blindly look at games that were maybe in Toys R Us. You know, you flip the flap upward on the game wall, and you look and you read, and it just might have looked interesting. The words might have been appealing, like kind of sounded like an RPG.
Yeah.
That was really
because you were big into RPGs.
Yeah. So I don't remember when we got it, but it had to be like during, shortly after it released, because the games, I didn't think they stayed that long. But I know that this was this was the first one we got, and then of course there was Deja Vu. No, actually, after this we got The Uninvited.
Okay.
And then
Shadowgate is part of a larger kind of series that are spiritually kind of connected. They're not the same storylines, but Kemco released 3 different text-based adventures, or not completely text-based, obviously, graphic adventures that were originally released on Macintosh computers, I believe. I forget the name of the company that first made them, but Kemco got a hold of them and ported them to the NES as Shadowgate, which is the one we're looking at right now. And there was Uninvited and Deja Vu.
Yeah. There's, as far as I could tell, there's no correlation between them, except in The Uninvited, you get, I think, like in a graveyard, you'll see like the name of the detective you play in Deja Vu, and I think there's a reference to Shadowgate somewhere.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this game and I have a really long history, and obviously you're connected with that because you're the one who introduced me to the game. And it's funny because my dad actually recorded all this footage back when I first discovered the game. And it was really Mikey, actually, who really first turned me onto it, because he was playing it like that whole vacation, that whole time we were there. Like, he kept going back to it. It was one of these games that in between Mario Brothers or Bubble Bobble or whatever other games we were playing, I could count on Mikey to, like, every morning he was playing Shadowgate. Like, Shadowgate was his go-to game at the time. And I just became really fascinated by this kind of game, because as a young kid, like 4 years old, the only games I'd ever played up until that point were really kind of action platformers, or, stuff like Super Mario Brothers or Ninja Turtles, maybe beat 'em ups like Double Dragon and stuff like that, but never a role-playing game, something with so much reading involved. And there's something about the music and the visuals that just sucked me in, and it was creepy. It was cryptic. You didn't know what was going to happen every time you turn a corner, or every decision you made could be your death. you could immediately die, and you actually do come face to face with death. Like this, the image of death appears on the screen, and oh man, it was a scary game, but it was weird. It just had this weird alluring quality to it. I kept coming back to it, even to the point where years later I ended up buying it like used at Funko Land, and I just had to have it because you guys were so good at it. You sent me this tape in 1990 after that trip, after I'd first experienced it, and I would rewatch this tape over and over again. And okay, so like this sort of thing was so creepy to me with that music and
Oh yeah, the music, like this. So this is like one of the songs that they play for that. The other one that would get me really is when the torches are low.
oh no,
And
I would want to like turn the music down or run out of the room when that torch music would play.
yeah, I to some degree, like I played this again recently, and
Uh-huh.
to this day, hearing that really like unsettles me. I get on edge.
It's like a PTSD.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
But that's
Yeah.
not exclusive to this game either. I get that way with a lot of playing some of these games when I was younger that may have like horror imagery and then uh, a mood and setting like this that really
Yeah.
just gets me on edge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, atmosphere and mood, like, oh gosh, it's hard for me to really even play through like a game like Silent Hill, because it's just so atmospheric, and it just the tension's so high, and that's something, yeah, like you said, this game excels at tension, like that, like, oh, like this music,
Yeah, the low
yeah, your
torch.
torch is low, yeah, oh man, yeah, it's that weird kind of, and if you let it go long enough, it starts going like off key, and the waveform starts bending, like a siren or something. It it's so creepy.
See, when we played these games, we weren't really like we were so much younger that we didn't know how to read certain clues in what was being described. So
Yeah,
a lot of it was trial and error. Maybe some of the words we didn't understand, or we didn't understand what it meant to, like what some of the inventory actually represented.
right.
So we would brute force our way through games like this for the most part. It's amazing because, like I said, I played it recently, and it's a lot easier than it seemed back then.
Oh yeah,
You still have all the traps where you're going to get killed because of just how the game is. You don't know unless you trial and error it.
it's so much trial and error.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and just I don't know. There was something about that feeling of what is going to be behind this door. What kind of crazy creature or monster or demon? These weird. The imagination put into this game was so macabre and creepy, and you just didn't know what to expect. That's why it pushed you to keep. I think that's why my curiosity was so big on this one. It was like, what did I not discover in this game? What door did I not go in? Or I don't know. It felt like a giant game, even though it's not. It's not really a giant game.
Yeah.
And right here, like, how did you figure out stuff like this? Like, you're having to like,
Well, of course, you're watching it after we've probably myself, Mikey, even my mom probably played through it a couple of times, so we're very well versed
yeah,
in the game at this point. But how did we figure it out the first time? I really don't know. I don't think there was any guide in Nintendo Power to look at. It was all just trial and error.
yeah,
I remember playing this when we would bring the NES to our grandparents,
yeah,
and so we would play this on the Saturday, and just it would take a while, right? And we would learn what to do. And to your point of like what's behind these doors, we will always have that curiosity. Like some of these rooms you can't go into, but I was always like, what's back there?
yeah.
What's
Well,
in there?
and the way it's set up too, I remember always thinking like, is there something I didn't discover, like a hidden passageway, or is there some sort of secret room that we don't even know about that exists with some new creature we've never seen before? Like the way the game's set up, it makes you feel like there's infinite possibilities of like what could be in this castle. Um, and I think I think we were the prime age and also the right family too to really get engaged with a game like this, because like I think our family really loved like B horror movies, and kind of grew up with stuff like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and just 1950s black and white stuff that was this has a certain vibe to it that's campy, and but horror, it really evokes a lot of those classic tropes.
Even when you get killed, if you read the dialogue of what's happening when you're dying, sometimes it's kind of like humorous, and it pokes fun, and it's kind of gory at the same time.
Yeah.
Like your face melts away, and the last thing you see is your hands on fire. So it's something weird like that, and you're like, wow, that sounds horrifying.
So
and then other times it would be humorous.
Somebody on the outside looking in, they probably don't understand why this game could be creepy or scary. They probably think we're crazy, but you've got to put yourself back in 1990. You're a small child, or even maybe you're a little bit older, so you're like 9 years old, eight or nine, but you're still young. And this game, oftentimes you'd play it at night. If you played it at night, and you got to picture all the lights are out in the house. Maybe it's just the glow of the television that's like illuminating you, and it's just you, the game, and the soundtrack, and it has this immersive quality that you really feel like you're in it. You're stuck in it, and you're in this castle, and every move you make counts. And like you said, like in the video here, you're not seeing it because the text, you're as a kid, you're scanning through it real quick, you're not reading it. But as you read this,
there
was, yeah,
like look, he's half body, like he's just a torso.
He's just a torso, yeah,
and
a giant torso.
You have to pay him money or something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the troll. I think I read there it said he's the troll.
Yeah, and then there was this dude.
Our imaginations ran wild back then, and we didn't have games that everything was all detailed and cinematic and drawn out, like a movie for you, and with today's graphics and stuff. No, this was as close as you got to a movie in a video game. Really, you're just seeing the visuals, and your imagination can run wild. Like I know something like this, I always thought, oh, what if I turned right? Like what's over there in that corner? There's so much creepiness in this game. The music is such a huge part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the first time you beat it?
Nah, no way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way. On this same tape was TMNT, which I thought I never beat.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I did, but I just don't remember when that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you talked? Mikey really liked this game in this series. Has he played it again recently?
I asked him about that. He's like, no, I didn't like it that much. I'm like, really? I could have sworn this was like his number one.
The tape doesn't lie. He's on there loving it.
Now, well, I think when I asked him, a follow-up question was it The Uninvited he liked? I think that one he did. He liked that one more. I like that one more too. That one is, it has even like more of a creepy factor.
Yeah,
that one is like truly like ghosts and like
right. It's like a haunted mansion, or instead of a castle. Yeah. And is that the one where it opens up with like a car crash?
No. Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, and if you don't get out in time, you'll get burned alive.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was the first one released on NES. And I don't know if it was the first one released on computers before that, but But yeah, definitely the first one to NES, and it even got a Worlds of Power youth novel,
Really?
novelization. Yeah, there's a Shadowgate version of that. Those Worlds of Power books,
Yeah.
and you had a few, right? You had Blaster Master, or what'd you have?
I had Blaster Master. I was there a Mega Man one? I might
There
have
was a
had
Mega
one.
Man one, Mega Man 2, which you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
There was a Shadowgate book. I remember I collected it actually. I think I had found it at a half price books or something back in the day. Thinking back to when you first played it, when you're trying to figure out how to beat this game,
Mhm.
what was the hardest part about it?
It's something around here. I remember there was a lot of. We would just go back and forth from like the front of the game all the way to here and back, looking for things we missed.
Wow.
Um, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember seeing the Sphinx a lot, which you'll probably see in one of these
Oh
doors.
yeah, the Sphinx. Yeah.
And constantly having to like hear the riddle and give the item
Okay.
and like
There's some
figuring.
really
Yeah.
creepy moments that are coming up. I remember the part where you kill the woman and it's a wolf. Remember you like shoot the woman, the maiden, with like a bow and arrow, and it turns out it was a jackal or something. There's like
Oh
a
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah. She's
there's a
at the
scene
top of
like
the
that.
tower here, I think.
Yeah, that used to
Now
creep
this
me out.
guy,
Yeah, look at this. What?
for some reason, he reminds me of David Bowie.
David Bowie.
I don't know, something about the face and the
Maybe
hair.
maybe they were inspired. That was
Wasn't it like one of his albums, like
yeah,
Diamond Dogs or something like that? It kind of
yeah.
looked like something
I
like
think
that.
you're
Yeah.
right. You kind of breezed past that part. Is there like a thing you have to? Is there a challenge in that room with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lion?
So what happens is he won't let you pass until you can answer a riddle, and gives you a random riddle. Maybe there's like 12 of them in the game.
Oh, okay.
This is the girl you have to
Yeah,
that you're talking about.
yeah. This used to creep me out. What happens here?
But yeah, you answer the riddle. He gives you a riddle, and it's an inventory item that you have to give to him, and then he'll let you pass it if you have the right item.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, see, that's, and I think because of the blood, there's like some blood there, and it used to really creep me out.
wow. So
Uh,
you're the reason why Nintendo censored everything.
there you go.
People like you, huh?
Yeah, 4-year-olds like me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, this game for a 4-year-old watching it is. I mean, that's the thing too. I think I was so young when I would watch this tape, and all these images here, like this thing right here, whatever that's supposed to be.
Yeah, the Hellhound, right?
The Hellhound. Yeah, I mean, like I'm watching this and I'm just being blown away by, first of all, your mastery of the game, but just the images. It made my imagination go crazy.
So they made a modern version.
Oh, well, there's one on 64 also, right?
Well, all right, yeah. So that's the sequel, maybe prequel. I don't know. Shadowgate 64. We had it.
Yeah.
I think I got out of you start in a jail cell. I got out of there and I never played it again. It was just not very good.
Yeah, it was kind of sloppy, right?
Yeah, I'd like to try it again, with a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
But they actually remade this game maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I think the game is basically the same, but the graphics it's full screen, artistic renderings, drawings rather.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult for me. There's something about the simple image quality here that you can identify certain items and where to go and what to do.
Sure.
And you make this photorealistic version, and all of a sudden you can't see. There's too much noise, right?
I feel like the game would lose a lot of charm that way. Like a lot of the charm is to me, it's in the sprites. It's in the sprite work.
Yeah. Yeah, and that one I didn't get very far in either. I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's too bad. Nothing like the original. I really don't think they're going to top the kind of feeling that you get from this with the 8-bit NES music and the sprites and the visuals and the time and place. You had to be there.
Yep.
Look at all these items you've acquired. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I recently played through Deja Vu. I streamed it, and I even explained there. I'm always compelled to just grab everything I can. and then I have to suffer through going through the whole list, which isn't alphabetized either,
Oh
just to
gosh.
get what I need to do, what I need to get. And Deja Vu is a difficult one. They don't let you do it in this, but in Deja Vu, you have to actually throw away items
Oh, okay.
by the end of the game, so you can prove that you didn't do the crime. But if you have like incriminating evidence on you, you'll get arrested. If you throw away the wrong thing, you've ruined your game. You can't win.
Oh man.
They automatically delete your save. So,
Oh, your torch is running out.
oh
I
no,
wonder if you die in this playthrough.
I don't know, but I found out that if you let the torch run out, it's not that bad. Actually, if you let the torch run out, you start like 2 screens back with
Oh, that's not bad, yeah.
with extra torch power. So you could actually, if you don't have any more torches, you can slowly make it through the game. Just getting
Okay.
reset a little bit, like taking
Yeah.
maybe 7 steps forward and then 3 steps back each time.
This is like you have an option: take the straight path or take the rickety path. Let's take the rickety path.
Yeah, Mikey. Let's take a bloodshed.
Pick the red one.
Well, you know that bridge? I always used to think that those, you'll see it probably when I back out, but the I guess the spikes at the end that hold it up, they look like candy canes to me because the way that the rope is wrapped around it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you'll see it.
That's what I mean about imagination, you know?
Yeah, I always used to think that they were candy canes.
Do you just backtrack? I want to make a note here. You actually were far ahead in the game, and you actually just backtracked. You're near the beginning of the game again,
Yeah.
like where it kind of starts. And I guess you got an item or something where you can now go to that rickety bridge path
Yeah, I think it was a spell. Maybe it was
Okay.
a spell.
to kill that monster.
You have to go over there and get the staff, and then you assemble the rod.
Okay, so because now you're going back. Yeah, there's the troll.
Look at this guy. Look at that face, though. Like, it's very gaunt looking because of
Yeah.
the shadows. I don't know, man. This stuff used to just...
And nightmare fuel.
It really was. Like, I know it sounds silly, but it's... A lot of the imagery really used to creep me out.
I remember playing this game after I'd bought it. I was probably more like 11 at this point, and I'd got it at Funcoland, but I'd stay over at my mom's house, you know, on the weekends. And I had an NES there. She had bought me a secondhand NES, and this was one of the games I purchased. And I remember playing it late at night in my mom's house and just creeping myself out to the point where I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that face. Wow.
Oh gosh, talk about nightmare fuel.
So what is it? It's just a skeleton,
Look at a corpse.
fully clothed, has the
Yeah.
crown, supposed to be a king or something.
Oh my gosh.
He's just sitting there waiting for you. Can you imagine walking into? Let's
Oh,
say
yeah.
you explored the real Shadowgate, and
Yeah.
you make your way through. I would be. I don't know how I could take a.
Oh, it'd
step
be
in there.
just like a horrific, like you probably die of fright.
Yeah. I used to think that the torches were Q-tips.
They kind of
Yeah.
look like Q-tips,
Yeah,
yeah.
they just got that white tip on the end.
Giant Q-tips. In fact, that's what you're doing. You're actually using those torches to clean your ears out.
And then even with the fire on them, kind of looks like a puffy Q-tip.
Yeah, I mean, look at these. I think coupled with that music, it just all became so wild to look at. Yeah, I remember watching this stuff. Yeah, the little animations. It's so funny, you know. Just those little animations, actually, they did a lot to make this NES version of the game like really good. This was my favorite song in the game. I think because it was very like uplifting and not scary.
You know what game? So NES games that were frightful.
Oh,
I think
Dr.
also it's
Chaos.
yes, that's what I was gonna say, Dr. Chaos. Because you'd go around and you'd have to open. So you'd go into this like first-person perspective in a room, and you could look north, south, east, or west. And you're supposed to open up doors and closets and windows and stuff like that. And sometimes you'd open one up and this like creature would pop out and
Yes,
you'd have
the
to fight
monster
him.
pops out of the door or the window. I would literally run screaming out of the room when that would happen. And my dad, he'd go, come back in, he's gone. And I would be like,
he's gone. Then you walk outside and you have to fight him. And
yeah,
you're
he
scared
chases
again.
you out of the, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of them. There's a lot of creepy NES games actually. Doctor Chaos, Shadowgate. Oh, all of these, Shadowgate trilogy, Uninvited, Deja. But look at this, death on the raft, on the
Yeah,
creepy stuff. You have to bang the gong.
yeah. I always wondered what happened if you ran out of coins to give him.
Yeah, it's funny is that you're so good in this recording. It's crazy. You did this when you were like 9 years old, 9 or 10, and you're you got so many torches. I don't think you're gonna die. I don't think you actually die in this playthrough. You've
Yeah,
mastered
no,
it.
that's what I'm saying. We probably had it really well known and refined at this point.
Yeah. For those of you watching who've never seen this game before, I'm actually going to put it on the screen right now, what the actual game over death screen looks like when that torch runs out, just to give you an idea of how creepy it was. Here you go. Watch this.
Briefly,
So
yeah.
this is
Okay.
the ending part, huh?
This is it. This is the end. This is the last guy, so to speak.
All the flashing, the lightning bolts.
Yeah. Now this, so this used to creep me out. What's about to happen here? This ending.
Who's that supposed to be standing there next to him?
That's the wizard. Was it Mordrak or something? I don't know. He's the big bad guy here.
Oh, okay.
And you're there to stop him because I don't know reasons I can't remember.
Yeah. You'd watch this as a kid. I'd watch it as a kid and just make up my own storyline of what was
Yeah.
going on.
What do you think a dark wizard tastes like? Ooh, dark wizard.
Yeah, he grabs him, pulls him down with him, eats him. Creature screams in agony, thrashing back and forth. That's the thing. This was like an adult, this is scary stuff for a kid to read.
You can hear the Warlock Lord's screams fade into. Dude, think about that.
Yeah. A beautiful light seems to fill the cavern. The morning sun. You say to yourself, it is over.
I feel like that's a line from one of our short films.
Yeah, it feels like it. Although exhausted, you lean on the staff of ages and begin your long. So this is the last screen in the game, and I remember when I was a kid watching this tape, I never really could remember, for whatever reason as a kid, I couldn't remember what the last screen was in the last part of the game, but whenever I saw this screen, I knew you beat it. Like, I was like, oh man, it's over. Like, it's already over. That's too bad. Like, I wanted to see more, I was always so, into just watching you go on this adventure.
Shadowgate.
I know what thou hast done, brave one. The world would be dark forever without thee.
Yeah, so like, what's my reward here?
You have bestowed
right.
a kingdom to rule.
And the king's fair daughter.
Oh, really? The daughter?
Yeah. All right, good enough. A kingdom and a girlfriend.
There you go. New tales to tell. The first stories end. Oh, so it's kind of like setting it up for a sequel that never really came on the NES, at least.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if 64 fits in like that.
Yeah, Shadowgate 64. Oh, there, it's over. This is usually when He-Man would start playing.
Oh yeah,
because remember I told you on this tape that you'd made. This was the last game that you recorded, and at the end of the tape, it would start playing He-Man. But I don't think that's here on the digitized version I gave you.
And best of all, I'm certain the money I planted in that bird's bed is causing all kinds of trouble.
I am going to turn that little drip into...
Shh. We'll worry about him later.
It was really cool getting together with Manny and watching this playthrough of Shadowgate that he recorded so long ago. As the two of us reminisced and talked about this game, so many memories came flooding back, and it was just a great time. And I really enjoyed doing this sort of thing, looking back on the old recordings of gameplay that Manny and I used to send back and forth to each other back in the day. Definitely expect more of this sort of thing here on the channel. And if this is your first time to My Retro Life, I want to invite you to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. I love talking about my game crazy family and all of the amazing memories with video games that we shared together, so many of which were caught on tape by my dad. All right, guys, well, that's it for this video. I will catch you next time.